Hello everyone, my name is Roxy Sampaulo, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my math/literature lesson plan. And before I get started, on my digital portfolio, I left a summary as well as a free link to the book being read out loud. So if you haven't read the book, I would really recommend reading the book before, because then you're going to understand my lesson plan a lot better. So this is for my Education 380/90 course. I'm from the University of La Verne, and this is going to be for the grades 1st to 2nd grade, and it's a math/language arts lesson. I have titled this lesson Counting Feet, and that'll make a lot more sense once you have read the book, and you'll get the lesson a lot better, I promise. And so the length of this lesson is about 45 minutes to an hour. That's what I pretty much guesstimated. You can use this all during one length of the lesson. You can do it in one day, or you can split it up, because each of the students are going to be able to have an opportunity to present. So if you feel like it's better to allow them to present in multiple days, then you can do that, or you can just have them all present in one day. So the subject standard is to count to 120, starting at any number less than 120. In this range, read and write numerals and represent a number of objects with a written numeral. And multiple intelligence addressed. Special intelligence, reading comprehension, and logical mathematics will be used during this lesson. Using their math skills and visuals will help students to complete this lesson. So they're going to be using their visuals when they're reading the book and completing their activities, as well as their math skills during both. So the goal of this unit is for students to be able to count some multiple digit numbers and recognize that there are multiple ways to get the same answer. And I'm going to explain this a little bit further when I go to my lesson. And the objective of the lesson, after reading 1 is a snail, 10 is a crab, the students will be able to add and count to multiple digit numbers using different equations with 100% accuracy. And I really want to emphasize the 100% accuracy. You're going to be able to tell if students understand the lesson or if they don't understand the lesson, because they're all going to be presenting, and when they're presenting, the rest of the students are going to be participating. So you're really going to get a feel of who's understanding the lesson and who is not. So strategy for assessment. Students will be able to actively participate throughout this lesson. While reading 1 is a snail, 10 is a crab, students will be asked to make predictions about what numbers are going to come next. So if you've seen the book, the authors really do make patterns of what numbers come next. They go from 1 to 10, and then they start counting from 10s, 10, 20, 30, and so on. So throughout the book, you can ask, the students, what numbers do you think are going to come next? And see if the predictions come right. After finishing the book, you will transition into a riddle activity. After providing an exemplary problem with your riddle, allow students to come up with their own for the class to enjoy. Observe students' riddles as well as how they are being solved by the other students. So the learning environment for this lesson, the riddle activity will help the auditory learners, the writing will help linguistic learners, and visual spatial learners will be helped by figuring out how to solve equations using feet from the book. And once again, feet from the book, that'll make a lot more sense once you read the book and you go into the activity. So the materials, equipment, and technology needed, there's not much needed for this, which is why I really appreciate this activity. Of course, you're going to need the book. 1 is a snail, 10 is a crab. Paper, this can be construction paper, this can be folder paper, it could be any type of paper, and then pencil and coloring utensils. You can let your students decorate their riddles in color and create pictures if you'd like and if you have the time. So an intro into this activity. So you're going to start by asking students how high they can count. Can they count by 2s, 5s, 10s? See what patterns they count. And you can ask them to do this with a partner. And listen to their responses and how they are sharing with their partner. And the rationale to this is to familiarize the students with counting and solving addition problems that they will be completing today. You'll be creating the setting for the lesson. Students are going to be counting this entire lesson, so it's really good to have them have a little preface before. So once you're going to read the book, 1 is a snail, 10 is a crab, written by April Pooley Sayer and Jeff Sayer, to the students. After, explain to the students that you have a riddle that they can solve. And you are going to complete your riddle before you do the actual lesson. The students will complete theirs after. So make sure you have your riddle ready. On the outside of a folded paper, write a number. For example, 10. This is just an example. On the inside, write two equations. One equation will be a normal addition problem, while the other will relate to the book. And ask students to guess the numbers in the equation. This will be modeling what students will be doing on their own. The students are going to be doing exactly what you're doing with their riddle problem, except for they can use different numbers and different equations. And then you're going to allow everyone to guess their answers. After, open your riddle paper and reveal the equations. And I'm going to give a little example of this. So for example, if your equation on the outside you have 10, the first equation you can put is 7 plus 2 plus 1, which equals 10. Now, of course, there's many different ways to get this answer. You could do 5 plus 5. You can do any problems that you would like. And for the second equation, you would use the equation that relates to the book. So once you read the book, you're gonna be able to tell an insect plus a person plus a snail equals a crab. And you can draw this out so that your students can visualize the symbols with the numbers. And the book will get the students engaged and interested in the task at hand. The riddle will help the students practice adding different numbers together and identifying the various different ways to get the same answer. To go a little bit beyond, the students will be able to make their own riddles using the same exact concept. Allow each student to present the riddle to the class and allow the class to try and find the answer. So this is when you give students their time to make their own riddles. They're going to do their number at the front. There are two equations at the opening of the paper, and you can allow them to decorate this, to color this, to create their symbols, and it's all going to be using the symbols from the book. The activity will allow students to practice what they learned during the lesson. This will allow students to have fun while engaging in the lesson. Students will be able to hear from their classmates the different solutions to one problem. Additionally, they will be counting using multiple digit numbers. So after this, each student is going to take their turn presenting their riddle to the class. You can listen to their answers and see how each student solves the problem. And so that is my lesson plan. Thank you.